M10 ASAP. Now, I pretty much completely forgot that I had purchased this vehicle and that I actually had access to the French ground forces. Obviously, it's a bit late now. I'm pretty sure most, if not all, of the vehicles are pretty much open to everyone. So, kind of shot myself in the foot there by not fully exploiting them. But honestly, I played this thing for a bit, and then I just didn't seem to enjoy it. Obviously, it's quite a tank. I've actually got some footage from some other games that I played previous to this of me just soaking up ridiculous amounts of damage, which I might show later on in the clip. I've got a bit of a historic interlude for everyone, anyone who's in for that, so just keep watching and it should pop up relatively soon, probably after this match, I think. And so yeah, we're just going to take our very heavily armoured M10 ASAP. Now this tank is based on the Char B1. Char in French means tank, and then obviously the design, the model designation was B1. And this is really quite an interesting tank, because is that an AI? It sort of... It doesn't have that sort of AI driving thing, so I'm assuming it's a player. Oh crap, it's a 75mm gun. Can I get my second cannon facing these guys, please? Also got to be an eye because there's a tank above us as well. You know what, I'm out of here. Something might be able to cover us from behind, I don't know. I just know that I don't want to be here. I want to be down there, where there's all the combat and action and all the other cool stuff that goes on in War Thunder matches. I'm going to bet you any money that there's about 100 people camping on the top of this ridge, or maybe even behind this rock. And I'm in cover. I'm also slow as a bastard, but you know, whatever works. I don't know what it is about the French language. I really enjoy the way they accentuate all their vowels and all that other stuff. This sounds... Where did that come from? Is that artillery or is that someone shooting me in the arse? I was like, nope, that's someone shooting me in the arse. Why? God damn it, why? Look, if we can tank enough damage and just get the capture point, I'll be happy. Good job. We got the capture point. I'm not concerned about, like, that. What are you? Obviously, member of the squad. He's dead now, so it doesn't matter. Oh, right.
Our victory is here. Most of the strategic zones are captured.
That's a Panther 5. He could be dangerous. I don't know what's more dangerous here. Deal with the Panther 3 first. You seem to be the most life-threatening of all the vehicles I'm fighting right now. Someone took out my damn engine. I don't like it. Oh, someone's shooting me in the side. God damn it. I'm getting shot in the damn side. Who has enough pen to get through 75mm of armor? It's a damn Panzerjäger 1. God's sake. Hang on. Ricochet? Are you for real? I need more than one of these. I don't know. If we get the kills, obviously I'll show them, but until then I might just wait till I get the sewer... The thing with the big gun. The big 75mm gun. Yeah, if that thing ever thought I had a chance. Oh god, there's a Sturmgeschütz, guys. Sturmgeschütz! God damn it. Get out of my damn way. Why is this thing being so slow and pedantic? Holy shit, that actually took it out. Okay, French armor, don't fail me now. We are a moving Maginot line. They're actually tending. Ah, yes. The world famous get trapped and slowly die. Oh no. And I'm dead. I know you guys love these kind of things. I'm currently sitting in the middle of a Russian field somewhere in my French. It's a tractor with a bunch of machine guns on the back. I've got this thing fully kitted out. Panzerfaust in between us, a bunch of rifles and stuff on the back. But what's notable is that I pre-ordered the M10 ASAP and I got the MAC-31 machine gun with it. Now, it got me thinking, a lot of people really don't know a lot about French arms. They sort of see the names and they don't understand how they're, named. Now, this machine gun sitting on the dash of my vehicle is actually probably the most common coaxial machine gun in French tanks, and it's made by a company called Châtellerault. When I say company, it's more of an arsenal. You see, France had three major arsenals during the Second World War. It had Châtellerault, Toulon, and Saint-Étienne. Now, obviously, Châtellerault made this machine gun, and it's called an MAC, and that stands for Manufacture d'Armes Châtellerault. I don't think I'm missing out on anything in there. And yeah, so Toulon made the MAT 49 submachine gun that was very famous in the Vietnam War. It was basically a beefed up version of the grease gun, just far better designed, and that of course is Manufacture d'Armes Toulon, I think. And then of course Saint-Étienne is probably the most famous one that people don't really know about, but they created the MAS-36 and MAS-38 rifles in the Second World War, and they actually made the gun that France kind of uses today. It's actually being replaced at the moment, but they created the FAMAS. FAMAS stands for Fusil d'Assaut de la Manufacture d'Armes de Saint-Étienne. So the MAS part of FAMAS is like Saint-Étienne. It's just the Fusil d'Assaut, which is basically assault rifle in French. I just thought that'd be a bit interesting. So those are the three major arsenals of the country, which is pretty much like, I'm pretty sure they're like state-owned or something. I'm not sure how they are now. Actually, I don't think Saint-Étienne or Toulon exist anymore. Châtellerault, I'm not sure either. But however, there is a fourth company in the picture, and that of course belongs to the machine guns on the back of this vehicle. Now that belongs to a company called Hotchkiss. Now Hotchkiss was not a state-armed arsenal, they were actually a private company, and like I said, I'm not sure whether Hotchkiss survives anymore. However, it's just interesting to me, because people will know Walther or Walter, depending on if you're German or English. People will know Browning, Springfield Arsenal, everyone seems to know them, everyone knows Enfield, but France had a very developed weapons industry, but no one seems to really know too much about them, and I find it very interesting. So I thought I'd bring some light on that. So if any of you want to remember, the three major arsenals of France are Châtellerault, Toulon, and Saint-Étienne, and then of course another big player is of course Hotchkiss. I might be missing out on another company here, but that's all I remember off the top of my head. So yeah, back to the game.
It doesn't work out for me, but I've unlocked this thing. It looks weird. It's got a big 75mm gun. I've got a decent amount of penetration. It seems to be not actually that well armoured. However, quite nice. Most of the sort of pre-war French tanks, kind of with the exception of the M10 and the M10, it looks like the rest of these vehicles are just complete and utter garbage. Like, this thing looks like it's armoured, but it's actually not. It's slow, and the only sort of decent thing is probably going to be the gun. However, I haven't fired at anything yet, and it just, like, look at this. The tracking, just terrible. Not to mention, looking internally, this thing's only got 3 crew members. Where I was shot last time, it basically penned straight there, killed everyone, the end. And like, considering this is a casement tank destroyer, and I've got that gigantic machine gun turret, which, by the way, barely turns, like, I'm not expecting these tanks to be good. I'm just saying I'm kind of disappointed because, I don't know, maybe the French tanks were complete trash in real life, but I'm just not too sure what to think about this, honestly, because it feels like a wasted opportunity. I don't know, maybe they just don't translate well into the game. But I'll just see what happens. I'm probably just going to have to ambush players or shoot at people who are unaware, because I can't really be active in it. Despite the fact that this thing looks like some kind of assault tank, it really is not. And if you play it that way, you're going to find that you will die very quickly, so yeah.
Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
That Tetrarch over there. You need to go down, boy. What? And see that, like, see, we just took each other out. Like, this tank is a meme, honestly. Look at this tiny ass shell. Ready? Bam. Have a little video on French ground forces. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they're playable at the moment. It appears that there's a reason everyone bought the FL10 variant of the M4A1 because, I mean, to be quite frank, the low-tier French tanks are just trash, and trying to use them to grind out the M10 will be a bit of a grind, but I promise you, once I start getting some of the, like the M4A1 and the M10, things like that, maybe even the first ARL 44, then I think I'll start, you know, coming back to the whole French ground forces thing. Until then, I've lost interest. Honestly, I've lost all interest in any kind of French ground forces, any kind of low-tier stuff. I'll have to get them, because you've got to get every tank, but I'm going to use an effective tank just to grind them out, and then I'll play things like the Lorraine, the AMX M4, the AMX 50, even the AMX 50 Sabas, eventually get myself an AMX 30. Have fun, like, you know, and I'm just not having any fun driving these trash tanks. So, I don't know, maybe it's just me who's trash, but I mean, I think the fact that people aren't really playing, like, if it wasn't for the novelty, I don't think people would play these tanks, so, you know. Well, I'm sorry for the sort of disappointing video. Hope you guys took something away from this. It's been your boy Garage Gaming, and I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger. Do I bomb these targets? Do I not bomb these targets? You'll never know. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.